My name is Robert R. Recker, MD. I'm a faculty person at Creighton. I've been so since 1971. And I make my living doing research in osteoporosis as well as seeing some patients. Well, when I was a resident, I decided that I maybe would like to go into research. And so when I looked around the campus, the best research going on here was Dr. Haney's research. And so I asked him, could I be a fellow and train with you? And he said, sure, come on. So that's how I got into it. Then I found out it was really fascinating. What I like about it is the complexity and the continued discovery of new mechanisms and functions of the bone and the circulation.
Well, he exemplifies the values of Creighton in many, many ways. He's an excellent teacher, which the Jesuits were. He's a very ethical person, and I get to see this in day-to-day activity because we work with research subjects who can be very vulnerable. And he is very good to his staff members and inclusive of our successes.
The thing I noticed was that, while I was in medical school, was there was a reverence really for medicine and for doctoring and seeing patients and so on. It was regarded as almost a pastor-like mission, and I liked that.
So this award honors people who are really the jewels in the Creighton Medical School crown. We have 4 pillars: patient care, education, research, and advocacy. And this really honors those few individuals who are at the top of their fields in those areas. Now, Bob is universally kind to everybody. He respects everybody as a unique gift from God, and that comes through in his interactions every day with patients and students. I think the other thing that people need to realize is that Bob is a consummate gentleman, and even when things aren't going well, he is a tireless advocate for the mission of Creighton University.
Well, I've stayed here because I really liked the culture of the research environment as well as the teaching environment here at Creighton, and I like it. I like the Jesuit influence and culture, and so I just said I don't want to go anywhere else, and I'll stay here if they'll keep me.
Well, I think the biggest thing was that my mentor, when I was in training myself, said that when you're looking for a job, make sure that the main part that you look at is your boss. I could tell with everything that we were doing when I was talking with Bob Recker that he was honest, he was straightforward, he always said what he meant, and he always did what he promised, and I think my gut was right.
What I hope is lasting is that, first of all, the technology that I've introduced. I introduced, for example, looking at undecalcified bone specimens under a microscope from biopsies that I take from the iliac bone. And that has been a very valuable technology, and we're one of the few labs that still does it. And almost all of the drugs that have been, for example, approved by the Food and Drug Administration, we have done the bone biopsy examination for those patients and those drugs.
My background is mechanical engineering, and I'm trained under Dr. Recker as a biomedical engineer, and I run biomechanics lab in Osteoporosis Research Center. And I've been working with Dr. Recker for over 25 years now. He is one of the pioneers who started biomechanics lab in early 90s. There were very few, so I say it's a pioneering work on his part to start biomechanics, to understand bone strength, structure, because bone, if you don't use it, you lose it. So bone is basically looking for mechanical stimulus. And we needed a biomechanics lab to understand what's the relationship between mechanical loading and bone health. So that's what Dr. Recker started, and we are here as a biomechanics lab.
One of the ironies of all this is that my wife Susan went to work for Dr. Haney before I even had any contact with him. And of course, I think she was not surprised when I decided to take a fellowship with Dr. Haney.
He's focused on research. He's focused on ideas. I think maybe growing up on a farm, he didn't like that work, and he said, I got to get out of there and do something that isn't so physical. Otherwise, he's also motivated to help people. He gets calls from people all over the world, and he really helps a lot of people. He's been laboring for a long time in sort of an unknown field. And recently, it has been harder and harder to get grants. And so I think this award just kind of points to what he's been doing, how important his work is, and I'm really very happy that he's getting it.